जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare
हरे राम
Hare
राम
Krishna,
राम।
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram.
हरे 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 हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
राम
Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram.
हरे राम
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna
हरे राम हरे हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
राम
Ram, Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare Ram, Ram
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Are you doing, Prabhu? Are your daughters ready to do a small kirtan for 5 minutes?
Namo Vishnu Mata.
Namayam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namayam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Oh, good.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Wonderful Kirtan, Prabhu. Really
Thank you.
ecstatic. Thank you
I
very
think
much.
so. Maybe we just stopped now, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. We are going to back the class.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful
You're
to
welcome.
see the entire family in Kirtan.
Thank you, Prabhu. No problem.
Nice. Haribol.
Hari.
Thank you everyone for joining this online session, Friday regular session. Today we have a special guest. I would like to welcome special guest. His Grace Jai. Is he there? Jai Ganesh Prabhu? Yes. Grace Jai Ganesh Prabhu. So let's
Krishna
all
Prabhu.
welcome
No
everybody
special guest.
handing 3 times Haribol. Haribol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu, for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me in.
So hopefully we'll see you next week also. Because as you all know, Jai Ganesh Prabhu will be leaving us and leaving United States very soon. October 3rd, right, Prabhu, if I'm correct?
Yeah, Prabhu.
October 3rd, he'll be leaving. So that's why we wanted to take his association as much as possible. He's a wonderful devotee. He's very close to Radha Sharat Bihari. So taking his association is as good as getting closer to Radha Sharat Bihari. So very nice, Prabhu. Thank you for joining, and hopefully we'll see you next week also.
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Haribol. So let's start our session, today's session. So we are already running late. So let me just chant Mangalacharan prayers all by myself. You can mute or you can repeat together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Agrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrashabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishvanebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yetkrpatamaham Vande Sri Gurun Dinataranam. So last week, so we'll quickly recap for about 5 to 10 minutes about last week, whatever we read. So who were present last week? Kirtida and Ram Prabhu and Shravanti Mataji and Saujani Mataji. Right? So let's go with Kirtida. Couple of points about last week, what we learned.
We were discussing about Pitruloka, we were discussing about basically Arjuna's analysis as to what will happen if he is going to fight.
Nice. Thank you. Actually, I would like to add one point here that last week we had some discussion about Pitruloka, where it is situated and all that, right? So thank you, Ram Prabhu, for sharing that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read that. It is 5.26.5. So regarding the location of Pitruloka, it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.26.5 that they are located between the Garbhodaka ocean and Patala Loka. So this is near where the hellish planets are located. The passing of time, there is like that of the moon, though the arrangement of days and nights is opposite. This can be seen in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.22.5 and 9, wherein day and night there is measured according to the waxing and waning of the moon. But the moon is considered to be higher than the earth, whereas Pitru Loka is lower than the earth according to the vertical layout given in the Puranas. So this is very clearly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is no confusion. It is between Garbhodaka ocean and Patala Loka, right?
Prabhuji, which chapter you said, Prabhuji?
525. 5th canto, 26th chapter, 5th verse. Okay. So yeah, continue, Prabhu. So Ram Prabhu, you want to add about last week's whatever we discussed?
Prabhuji, I don't have much. Yeah, so you were talking about the name Mukunda. What is the giver of liberation? So
Muktim dadati iti Mukunda.
yeah,
Hmm.
I don't have much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I don't have much. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Saujanya Mata, you want to add anything?
Yes, Prabhuji. Mainly we did the 1.41, 41 shloka. And in 41 shloka, Arjuna was still trying to, he's not convinced, and he was trying to give a valid reason, saying that if everyone gets killed in this war, then we will have a lot of unwanted population. And then here, what you told us about unwanted means it's not like too many people. It's not like that. Here, unwanted means mainly those who will be without samskaras, like, without Vedic, with irreligion. Then if that kind of unwanted population is there, it's not good for the society. So that was the strong reason what Arjuna was trying to say in this shloka. And then actually there's two notes, and one is about the unwanted population. And then second note is the ancestors of such corrupt families. So first he said there will be unwanted religion, and because of that unwanted religion, the ancestors of those unwanted or corrupted families, they fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Because once you don't follow the religion or Vedic principles, and you don't offer food for your forefathers in Pitraloka, then so those are the two convincing reasons which Arjuna was trying to tell us. And then so as I just said, unwanted is, that's what you mean. It's not like oh, we have big family, we have unwanted kid. It's not like that. And then the whole of the discussion went on about the Pitraloka and that. But in that, what you were telling us is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter and 41 shloka, it is mentioned that if a devotee who renders devotional service, he is not required to perform such activities as offering to Pindaloka, to Pitraloka. So that was that. So that point, that as per the purport given, it is like like for us, what Krishna is trying to give a message to us is that you don't worry about what will happen unwanted, but truly a devotee, like when by doing devotional service, automatically everybody will be taken care. And then I don't know if you mentioned example, Prabhuji, but I just remembered, I don't know, maybe you mentioned Prahlad Maharaj, right? Because of his devotional service, the way he asked Narsingh Dev, he said, you're 7 generations up, 7 generations down. So that's another good example, which I'm just remembering. I don't know if we really talked about that one. And then, as Ram Prabhu said, anyone who takes shelter of Mukunda, he does not have to perform any of these rituals, truly. Because the Shraddha Karma and all these other duties are mainly to demigods. But if you are taking shelter of Mukunda, then you already satisfied even the demigods. And then why Mukunda means the one who gives the liberation, and which is nothing but Krishna. So that's what I have made notes for the 41st shloka. Those are the 2 points, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
I have something to add, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
I was just listening to one of the lectures last night, and regarding this Pitruloka thing, like, the month where, like, the 15 days where we are supposed to give the Pinda Dana for the forefathers, it is said that it seems it's like whoever dies, like if you are on a higher level of bhakti, then you don't have to do all these things. But generally, in that session, it was recommended, the speaker was saying that it's better to do the Pinda Dana. Like, usually they say that either the crow, you can cook and then offer and keep it for the crow, because that is like, what do you call, the vehicle of the person who is head of the Pitruloka. And or if you don't have a crow, like if you don't find a crow, then you can give it for cow. And then if not, at least you can invite Vaishnavas and feed them. So in that lecture, it was said that you have to do it because we are not on that platform where, you don't have to do all these things. So it is recommended that everybody should do that. Maybe some people might ask a question that, some people maybe how long will they be in Pitruloka and all that. So it was said that, they might, just like how it is in the court, maybe the case is like immediately taken care, or maybe it will be adjourned for 6 months or something like that. The same way it will be treated there also, because there'll be a lot of cases. So you don't know for how long actually your forefathers will be there. So it's always better to do it, and there is no loss. And it is recommended even by Arjuna. That's what he's speaking there, that, how will the Pindadana and all will be performed. So, I mean, it was just related. So I wanted to share with everyone. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So
Prabhu,
that's a
I
good-
have two things. So you were mentioning
Can you switch on your
tradition
video?
is important. Huh?
Can you switch on your video or no?
Prabhu,
Okay, please go ahead.
this is, you said two things. Tradition is important. Also, Pindadan is important. I think, that's what I come to a conclusion. We are not in greatest status yet. So I think whatever we must do to offer to please our forefathers, we should do it. I think, I mean, it may say it, but we are not up to that level. So,
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Actually, Srila Prabhupada in his purport, when he is referring to Srimad Bhagavatam Shloka, there it is very clearly mentioned that we are, as soon as we are taken birth in this, on this earth, then we are indebted to these three, mainly these three, Devatas, Rishis and Pitrus, right? Devatas is those Devatas who provide us all of this. Even though Krishna is providing, he is providing through these Devatas, right? Rain is providing, is providing air, everything is through Devatas, right? So we have to be indebted. That is why we do all these yagnas. We do sacrifice, fire sacrifice, and that yagna, and so many yagnas we do, right? It is to please his demigods, right? Ultimately, Krishna is a supreme controller, but still, it is through them. So we have to do. Now we are indebted to them, and we are indebted to rishis. Rishis means spiritual masters and teachers. How we have to repay their debt is by listening to their instructions, by becoming humble and serving them. So that is what in Bhagavad Gita also it is said, right? Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya. So we have to humbly serve them and listen to them and follow their instructions. That is the repaying way, payment for rishis, spiritual masters, gurus. And then Pitrus. Pitrus means all this Pindadana, right? How do you repay Pitrus? Because they have given birth to us. They have given this body through them. Then we have to repay by doing all these traditions, right? Because we are not at that status where we can say that I'm completely surrendered, Krishna will take care of everything. Yes. If we are there as Uttama Adhikaris, then that is fine, but we are not there yet. So we have to follow all these traditions. So that is what Srila Prabhupada says. Okay. So that is what we learned in last sloka. Thank you very much for everyone who shared this. So let's come to 1.42. Let's start with this, and hopefully we'll try to complete first chapter today. If not, by next week, definitely we'll complete first chapter. Okay, so 1.42, anyone wants to recite? Is Suhrit Prabhu there?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Very nice. Nice tilak. Good. Please recite 1.42. We will follow you.
Dosherita kulgananam
Varna
Karakai.
Utsyadante.
Utsadante Jata Jati Dharma
Utsadante jati dharma
Dharmasya Shashwataha.
Kula
Dharmasya
Dharmasya
Shaswataha.
Those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children or all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are
Devastated. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. So here the lamentation, Arjuna's lamentation continues, right? He gave so many reasons before why he does not want to fight, and the same thing continues here. Last verse we read about family tradition will get lost, because of these things. So here he is referring to community projects, not jati dharma. Srila Prabhupada translate that as community project. Community project will also get devastated. Okay, along with family tradition, community projects, there are many projects, right? Not projects in the sense like material projects. You're talking about the community traditions. Okay, how we have family traditions, there is society traditions also. Okay, so do's and don'ts in a society. So all those things will get devastated. Arjuna is saying here, after telling so many reasons, right? Etai doshe means all the faults. Dosha means faults, defects, what he has mentioned. What all the faults he has mentioned? He mentioned, like, to start with, once these people are killed, there won't be any young people. Young people means what? Young who are unmarried people. And there won't be any leaders in the society to lead the society in a proper way. And there will be male, female imbalance in the society, right? Female will be more, male will be less. So then females will get polluted, and then family traditions are lost, then unwanted children, then no one will be there to do pindadana. The forefathers will suffer in Pitraloka. So all these things, Arjuna is saying, Etai doshe, after telling all these above faults, he is referring Krishna here, Kulagnanam, he is referring here that he will be the cause for Kulagnanam. Kulagnanam means what? Family destruction. He will be the cause for family destruction if he fights. Okay, so he's saying not just killing the aggressors, but it will lead to devastation generation after generation. He says here, Shashwataha, family tradition, Shashwata. So these generation after generation after generation, the tradition will be lost, not just now. So he's seeing not the prayers, the shreyas. In a previous shloka, one of the slokas we read, right? He's talking, keeping shreyas in mind. Shreyas means what? Long-term benefit. So he's seeing long-term devastation, like generation after generation. All the jati dharma, jati means again community or society, all the values will be destroyed. The society, family values will be destroyed, and society will also be destroyed. So he is worried, but he's worried about himself. That means he will be the cause for all these things, right? Not just fighting this war. There is a chain of effects. right? So that is why he is extremely worried about. So let's see what he says in next sloka, 1.43. 1.43, Brinda.
उत्सन्नाकुलधर्माणां
Utsanna kula dharma
धर्मानं
मनुष्याणां जनार्दनां
मनुष्याणां
Janardana.
नरके नियतं वासो
नरके नियतं वासो
भवातीति अनुशुश्रमा.
भवति अनुसुश्रुमा.
O King, maintainer O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by the disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Yes, very nice. So let me read purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. So that means Arjuna is not just, for the sake of speaking, he is speaking. That means he has knowledge. He has, because he is Maharati, right? Maharati means they will not only about fighting, they will learn, but even all the Shastras they have learned. This we heard, in our previous verses also. So Arjuna knows everything. He knows all the Shastras. So he's not just telling for the sake of telling. So that is the way of receiving real knowledge. What is that? By hearing from the authorities is the real way of receiving knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in the Varnashrama institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschitta. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. So here Arjuna is referring as though he is a very educated person. He is, of course, educated person. He knows all the Shastras, right? He knows there is a life after death. After dying, if one has committed sinful activities, then he'll go to hell. If one has done good activities, he'll go to heaven. So he knows all of these things, right? Then in chapter 2, actually, Krishna speaks all the differences between soul and body, right? There is no point in describing to Arjuna, because Arjuna knows all these things. This body, once this dies, then the soul travels and takes another body and then goes to either a heavenly planet or hellish planet with Sukshma Sharira. All that Arjuna knows, so much knowledge. But still, this knowledge, see, one might say that Arjuna is so educated and is talking so much, but why is he lamenting? Because Arjuna, he knows all these things, but he is not realized. At this point of time, he has not realized. Like how we also know so much knowledge, right? If we ask, we can speak hours together on different hellish planets or Swarga and all the universe. We can speak so much information about, and we also know life after life. There is life, reincarnation, but still we don't realize. So that is the difference. That is the difference between person knowing and realizing, right? So just by knowing that there is a next life after this does not purify us. So in Shastra also it says that whatever we do, right, whatever is performed with knowledge, with Shraddha and with meditation becomes more effective. Okay, so there is a sloka for this. Yadeva vidyaya karoti. So whatever vidya, whatever is activities, karoti means do, whatever we do, vidyaya karoti. If we perform that with vidya, the knowledge, shraddhaya upanishada tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. So that means viryavattaram means here effective, more powerful. So only if you know whatever you do with knowledge, then that will be more effective. So Arjuna in this state is just talking for the sake of talking, and also because he has knowledge, he is talking, but he does not have realization. So that is why whenever we speak, we have to speak with realization. That will be more effective. See, whatever I am speaking now, that may not hit anybody's, may or may not hit anyone's heart here. But the same words, if Srila Prabhupada speaks, right? Srila Prabhupada speaks, hey, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then immediately that devotee, that person will become devotee. If I say, hey, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that may not be, that person may not become devotee. So that is why, but Srila Prabhupada is a realized soul. So the potency is there. When we speak, then it means something. There is a potency in our words. So that is why Srila Prabhupada says this, purity is the force. So purity is the force. That is 4 items. Without purity, there is no force. Okay, then purity comes with knowledge and realization. So that is what here is. Arjuna is just on the platform of kind of karma kanda platform, he's talking about these things. Okay. So here he says narake nityam vaso. So that means those whose family traditions are destroyed, they always dwell in hell. So naraka nityam vaso. So he knows that nobody is going to be there to purify the forefathers. We learned that, right? In Pitra Paksha, if you don't do, then forefathers will, once they expire all their good things, they have to come down to earth again to perform activities. Chine punya martya lokam vishanti. They have to come, right? So that is why these are the effects. Okay. So they always dwell in hell, those family traditions which are lost. So next we will see.
Prabhu,
Yes, any questions?
Yadeva Vidya Karoti, where did you get that from, please?
Oh, that is Chandogya Upanishad. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's move on to the next one. Who is there? Kids, who is there? Prajuna Mataji is there?
Yes, Prabhuji, she will be.
Yes.
This is 44, right?
1.44.
Read, Prashna. Yes.
Ahobata mahatpapam.
Ahobata mahatpapam.
Kartum vyavasita vayam.
Kartum vyavasitavayam.
Yadrachya sukarupena.
Yadrajya shukalobhena.
Hantam swajam janamuteta.
Hantum svajanam udhyata.
Translation.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen.
Yes. Can you read the purport also, please?
Prashna.
Driven by selfish motives, one might be inclined to such sinful acts as the killing of one's own brother, father, or mother. There are many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjuna, being a saintly devotee of the Lord, is always conscious of moral principles and therefore takes care to avoid such activities. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Arjuna here he says, he's expressing deep expression. He says, aho, alas, aho, ayo, what is that? I was ready to commit great sins by mahat papam. He says is aho bata mahat papam. Bata means it is so strange. I was about to create great mahat papam only for the sake of royal enjoyment. He says rajya sukha lobhena. Loba means greed. Driven by greed for royal happiness. Only for rajya sukha, I was about to commit so much papa. So he says that hantum means I was about to kill. Whom I was about to kill? I was about to kill own swajanam. Swajanam means my own people. Swajanam, kinsman. Kinsman means the blood relatives, right, in Sanskrit. So I was about to kill. I don't have greed. I don't want to have this greed. I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill. See, the same person, Arjuna, who once said that, he said that, take my chariot. Ratam stapaya me achyuta. Senayor ubayor madhye. Same Arjuna who said, take my chariot in front of those whom I have to see. Who are those Dhritarashtra, Durbuddhir, right? The evil-minded people. Those evil-minded people who have come to fight me. Right? The same Arjuna was talking so boldly. Now, once Krishna took him in between and then showed, see your cruise, then Arjuna's mind completely changed. Right? So now same Arjuna is talking Swajanam. He's repeating that. Actually, even in previous slokas, one of the slokas he repeated, right? Swajanam. So he's saying my own kinsman. So even here he is saying my own kinsman. So it's completely the way of thinking, thought process, everything has changed. Why? So actually Krishna, being the greatest psychiatrist, he wanted to bring out these feelings, within Arjuna, whatever it is, because unless these feelings come out from Arjuna, these lamentations come out from Arjuna, then he cannot treat, right? So even if you go to doctor, unless he sees all your problems, he cannot define the correct medication. So similarly, Krishna wanted all these feelings, the lamentation based on bodily concept, to come out of Arjuna. So that's why he was waiting. So now Krishna actually now starts giving the treatment for this. Okay. So any comments here?
Why is he flickering, every now and then? It's not settled yet.
Who?
Arjuna is just going back and forth.
Yes. See, that is why one who is in lamentation mood, right? See, Srila Prabhupada once he gave while giving initiation. So this is first initiation. So he gave initiation to his disciple, and he said, now you have become devotee. You should not lament. So the basic character of devotee is no lamentation. Okay, so one who laments, that means he's still not he's still a sadhaka, he's a neophyte. Okay, so Arjuna, knowing all these shastras, so much knowledge, still he is lamenting. That means at this point of time he still don't have a correct realization. That means I am not this body, I am this soul. Okay, so he does not have this realization. Why? Because he is doing, see, there is three levels of understanding the situation. So first level is pratyaksha praman, right? Pratyaksha praman is one level of understanding things as is, right? So if you want to understand that, like in case of Arjuna is seeing pratyaksha praman, he's seeing all his relatives, kinsmen, everybody in front of him, they are ready to fight against him. So that is pratyaksha praman. And by seeing this, he is inferring some knowledge. What is that? Anuman praman. Oh, they have come here, they are fighting against me, then they are my relatives, then I cannot fight, I should not be fighting. If I fight, I'll incur sins. If I fight Varna Sankara, then all that blah, blah, whatever we read, right? So all that. So Arjuna is doing Anuman praman. So both are defective. Shastra says both are defective. So Arjuna is in the defective mode. He is not in the Shabda praman. Shabda praman is the highest. Okay, so you have to hear. That is what eventually after chapter 2, after chapter 1, that is when Krishna starts to speak, right? So that is what Shabda praman. Shabda praman means hearing from the authority, hearing from the authority. Here Krishna is the authority. Krishna knows that, okay, here the opening batsman is down, is very weak. Now Krishna is the umpire. Okay, so Krishna is going to decide what needs to be done. Okay, so he is going to give treatment. Okay, so that Shabda Praman, the words coming out of Krishna, so that is more powerful than Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman. So Arjuna is in that mode, the first two stages. Pratyaksha Praman, he sees, and Anuman Praman, he infers. Okay, so that is why he is not understanding the difference between the soul. He does not realize that yet. Okay, so Prajna Mataji has raised hand.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have a question. So when you give Srila Prabhupada's example that Srila Prabhupada said that now you've become a devotee, so you shouldn't lament, which means is Srila Prabhupada saying that you shouldn't feel sad or regret. I mean, all the human beings, we feel sad, but being a devotee, is he saying that you accept everything is from Krishna, and it's Krishna's plan, it's Krishna's mercy, it's and that is that what Srila Prabhupada meant to say, that don't lament
No,
or leave it to
lamentation.
Krishna, or I don't know
No,
what specifically.
lamentation means, suppose say you lost something, okay, in your life, okay, you lost some valuable thing, then you know for sure that you are not going to get it back, okay. So now you keep contemplating on the same object. It can be an object, it can be a person, okay. So in my case, okay, let me give my case. My father, he passed away about 15 years back. Okay, so if I'm so attached to my father, if I keep lamenting that, oh, my father expired, if I keep crying every day without executing my ultimate goal is what? To achieve Krishna, to become devotee and achieve Krishna and serve him, right? So if my lamentation is overtaking all these other activities, then that lamentation is wrong. See, being sad when somebody dies, that is out of affection. I always tell this, out of affection, you get this feeling. You're not a hard-hearted person, right? Everybody has these feelings. So out of affection, yes, out of affection, all these feelings come out, no problem. But dwelling upon those feelings and leading your life is what lamentation is. Lamentation is constant contemplation of the same thing which you cannot change, right? That is the lamentation. Constant contemplation of either a thing or a person that which you don't have any control over, that you cannot change, is lamentation. See, Arjuna here, being a Kshatriya, his main duty is to fight. There is no way to get away from that, right? There is no way to get away. But still he's saying, oh, my people, I don't want to fight. If I fight, this. He's giving so many reasons. So he's repeating, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, almost 10 to 12 slokas, Arjuna is lamenting. Not just one. 10 to 12 slokas is lamenting, complete lamentation, right? So that lamentation is not good. Krishna will scold Arjuna in next chapter. Actually, that lamentation is not good. Okay. So even in our case also, if we think about something, object or a person or anything like that, if we keep contemplating on that to achieve or to whatever, to try to change that, then that is called lamentation, because we lose our original objective. Original objective is to what? Get knowledge, get realization, and then go back to Godhead. That is original. Okay. So,
Prabhu,
yes.
so we have to think at the time we are not this body, we are just jivas.
Yes, but we can't come to that stage as of now. We cannot come. That is why we have certain procedures, certain processes, like you have to chant. So when in our Krishna conscious, right, way, whether you give birth to a child or whether a person dies, we just chant Mahamantra. Do you realize that, right? If you go to a mortuary, right, there also some person is dead and in a crematorium, then we go there and what we do? We just do Mahamantra Kirtan. If a kid is born, new kid, what we do? We do Mahamantra Kirtan. So that is what it is. That is ultimate. That's all. Whether a person is born or person dies, we do Mahamantra. So our objective is met. Okay.
So another thing is, it's not because of Krishna. He cannot tell everything it is Krishna's doing, because we have all done tons of past karma. So we have to pay for all that. So how can we tell that Krishna is doing that? Isn't it wrong assumption to think that Krishna is doing this for you? No. we have to go through whatever we have done. We have not completely away from all our sins or past misdeeds or whatever we have done. Even though you may be chanting, maybe it is not perfect. We are just still, whatever the problem is, we are still chanting. We may not be very attentive when we are chanting, we're doing, but we cannot assign that idea, hold the idea that Krishna is, because of Krishna we are doing. How can Krishna be interfering with our lives, whatever we have done before, right?
Yeah, so that is what this is actually, we are jumping between the chapters because eventually Krishna explains all this very, very neatly. Okay. So Prakrite Kriyam, I'm telling that shloka. Okay, this, if you have time you can read. Prakrite Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasa Ahankara Vimudatma Karta Ahamiti Manyate. So this shloka, if you read, very clearly says that this ahankara, because of our ego, we think we are the doers. Actually, it is not we are the doers. It's prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani savrasa. It is based because of these three modes acting upon us. Then we end up doing all these karmic actions and reactions. Okay, so all that what Krishna does, even in our previous slokas, one of the slokas we learned, right? If we become a devotee, Krishna actually guides us from within us, right? Krishna guides within us. Then we end up not doing the vikarma. That means the activities which are not prescribed by in the Shastras, we won't end up doing that. Why? If we become devotee, Krishna guides us being within us as a Paramatma. But if we become completely surrender, to Krishna, then Krishna will act through our sense organs. We don't act. That means if you want to write, if you want to do any activity, if you want to move, if you want to hear, if you want to see, if you want to smell, if you want to eat, everything Krishna will act. That is only if you become completely surrendered. Like Srila Prabhupada many times says, I didn't write all these scriptures. Srila Prabhupada says, I didn't write all these scriptures. Krishna wrote all these scriptures. Okay. So even though Srila Prabhupada wrote, he's a surrendered soul. So that means Krishna acts through him. Okay. So those are different stages. So we are not there yet. At this point of time, on us, all this prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa, all these three modes are acting. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. All these three modes are acting, and because they are acting on us, we are doing activities. Okay. So when we are doing activities, we have to suffer for bad activities, we have to enjoy for good activities. Okay. Only if we get under the umbrella of Krishna's mercy, then the effect of these three gunas, which is called Maya. Okay. This Maya effect will be less. Okay. So either we can come under the control of Maya, which is again Krishna's agent, or we can come under the control of Krishna directly. Either you want to come under control of Maya or Krishna. So if you become devotee, then Maya will slowly go away and Krishna mercy will be on us. Okay. So all that for a non-devotee is that Krishna doesn't punish any non-devotee. Okay. Krishna is soft-hearted. Krishna is Bhaktavatsala. Krishna doesn't punish. He does not have any hard-hearted that, hey, he's doing sinful activities, let me punish him. Krishna doesn't do that. All that Krishna does is, he does not show mercy on that person. When the mercy is not shown on that person, the Maya will act. All the three gunas will act on that person. Then if three gunas act, whatever activities you do, you have to end up for the results of that activities. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
So when does Krishna show mercy?
When you become devotee.
Yeah, that we don't know yet. We don't know yet.
But why we forget?
Huh?
But we forget sometimes.
What?
But we forget sometimes. Then we have to practice.
That is why we are under Maya. So once a devotee of Srila Prabhupada, he goes to him and says that, Prabhupada, sometimes, Maya attacks me. I am under Maya. Srila Prabhupada scolds him. Come on. Sometimes only you become a devotee. You are under Maya. So likewise, we are not like, just because we are chanting, Okay, we are not under like, Krishna will protect me always. No, nothing like that. We have done so many sinful activities. Even chanting, while chanting, we do so many offenses, right? There are 10 offenses to the holy name. So just note down all those 10 offenses. See which one you're doing. So when you chant, so there'll be so many offenses we do while chanting. So when we are doing so many offenses, how do you think Krishna will come and protect you? Krishna will protect you when we go according to his directions. That means we are still sadhakas. We have to go through all our difficulties, not just because we chanted that, death won't come to us, disease won't come to us, old age won't come to us. No, everything will come. Everything will come. Only we get energy and power to cross over those difficulties. All this birth, old age, disease, death, then threefold miseries, right? Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika. All these 7 will come even if you chant. Right? Only you get energy and you get spiritual energy to cross over these things. So that is the beauty of chanting. Okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I want to add something, but I'm not sure. But just as of my understanding, like all of the people, we already getting the mercy of the Krishna every time, everywhere. But I'm sorry, Prabhu. I'm telling this my thing. I'm not sure is it correct or not. But I think so. Like when Krishna get this special mercy for the devotees, because there's something like might be the light in the sunlight, the wind, like all of the things. Everyone is getting the the opportunity, but only the special mercy affected to the only devotees. This is I'm not sure is it. If you can approve or something, accept it.
Yes, Prabhu. That is what Krishna also, even in Bhagavad Gita, you're right, absolutely right. That is why I said, if we become devotee, Krishna guides through us. That means it is his mercy. If we completely surrender, then Krishna acts through our sense organs. Okay? So that is a surrender soul. So even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Oh Arjuna, go and declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. That means if you become devotee of Krishna, he will make sure that you don't perish. He will make sure that you do only akarma. Right? Yes, Prabhu. So any comments?
Prabhuji, there is the analogy like in Hiranyakasipu started blaming, like Vishnu. Vishnu is the only takes favor of the, like demigods. So, but in the Bhagavatam, it is clearly written, like Krishna never takes, never be partial to anybody. He is impartial. Vishnu is impartial. Krishna is impartial to everybody. But there is the but. What you are saying exactly the same. Like father is there. Father is having 4 sons or 3 sons, whatever. So say 5 sons. 4 sons are just eating, drinking, enjoying everything. One son is always coming to the father saying that, Father, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? A glass of water? Take, please. I can give you, do your massage, feet massage, this, that. So father will be unknowingly, knowingly, he will be also just keeping his hand on his head, like, oh, my dear son, what do you want? Can you take this one? Instead of, but he will be making sure to give the basic necessity to all the 5 sons, food, clothes, everything. But the extra thing he will give to that son who will keep on asking everything to the that father. So we are like that, those who are the devotee who are remembering to Krishna, 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 Krishna. So Krishna will be obviously saying that, keeping his hand to that devotee, like, oh my dear, my son, what do you want? Means, or how I can pull you. So like that. So that is so Hiranyakasipu is saying that oh Vishnu, you are just favoring to the demons. That is in the seventh kind of fifth chapter, when Prahlad ji, he was harassing to the Prahlad ji, but Prahlad ji Maharaj was just chanting the Vishnu name, Krishna name, so nothing happened to him. So meaning like if we see in that angle that Krishna is favoring to people, so Krishna doesn't favor. Krishna just gives the mercy. So those who remembers Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That's it.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice.
Prabhuji, that means we shouldn't say, oh, Krishna is giving difficulties. Why Krishna is doing like this to me? We shouldn't say like that. Right, Prabhuji? It's our karma. We should say, oh, it's my karma, I'm getting these difficulties. Like that we should think.
Yes, we should think like that. Krishna never gives you difficulties, Mataji. Krishna never gives you one thing. Okay, very clear.
Yeah, but we hear, right, Prabhuji, common, like how people say,
Yeah, no, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
You always have to see, this is what the positive way of thinking is, that whenever difficulty comes, okay, whenever difficulty, that means bad things happen to us, we always say this is because of our karma. Whenever good things happen to us, we always have to thank Krishna. Thank you. So it is other way around. Okay.
But when we talk to friends, families like that, in case if they say out of immaturity, if they say, I don't know why God is giving so many difficulties to us, He's not showing mercy to us. We can't, if we say, oh no, don't say God, it's all your karma, then they take it rude, right? They'll say, Ayo, see how she's talking, she's so rude. Then how do we tell Prabhuji that what you're thinking is wrong? And we have to be diplomatic, right? And I don't know how we can word it.
There is no generic formula for, because it is all case to case basis. The thing what you said may not work with your people, but if I say somebody else, it might work there. So it is case to case basis. Work.
Immaturity, if they are immature.
So you have to analyze what is their position, current position of accepting your instructions. Okay, if they are not ready to accept your instructions, whatever Bhagavad Gita you preach, it will just go waste. Okay, so if they don't have any faith in that, then that's it. It is again ninth Namaparad. What is the ninth Namaparad? To instruct, a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. This is the ninth Namaparad. So if you go and chant, say chant. Srila Prabhupada says, right? Husband says, wife chant. She says can't. So like that. If you go and tell a person about all this Bhagavad Gita, about chanting, he does not have any faith. So you have to analyze that. If he does not have any faith, then you end up doing actually offense. So you have to just touch and see that person. How is that? Is he receptive? When you tell something, is he receptive? If he is not receptive, then you have to analyze. If you really want to help, if he is a close family member, if you really want to help, you have to go in a different route. Okay, you cannot straight away jump into a Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite Kuryamanani, Gudai Karmani, Sharvasha. They say, what is our nonsense talking? Stop it. So no, you have to analyze that person. That is why it is case to case basis. There is no generic formula. But if you get more intelligence, right? The more you read scriptures, the more intelligence. Right? Then Krishna gives you that intelligence actually. The more chanting, more reading book, then he will give intelligence to talk to particular person and convince that person. That is where Srila Prabhupada is. Srila Prabhupada, you can convince anybody. He was the best person, best critic he was.
Prabhu, they always come and when we are reading, we always come to a conclusion. Why good people are suffering? Why do always good people get bad things? We have read it in so many situations, in so many analysis, or some people, sadhus are speaking always. So I guess that is related to that. So partly we cannot convince somebody because they are ignorant. They are not up to the stage. So, you cannot take him and drink the water. So like taking somebody and, you cannot take a horse and drink the water or something. So I think, we have read in several situations why good people suffer. I guess, I guess we have to relate that with our karma, because we have lived millions of lives. So a lot of things have accumulated within us. So whatever it is happening, at least Krishna is probably protecting. You are not suffering the full effect of it. You are doing only half the effect of it. That's what we should take it. So at least we can go ahead and keep doing what we are doing.
So that is a basic, for us, basic thing. For us,
Yeah.
that means not only us, anybody for that matter, in this life, the basic thing is you should have faith in these two people.
Yeah.
Okay? Shastra and Guru.
Guru.
Shastra and Guru. Okay, so the whole problem is we don't have faith in these two. Okay, that is again defined in the Shastras itself. Yavatsu papaistu malinam hridayam, yavatsu papaistu malinam hridayam, shastre sadbuddhi nasyat, na sadbuddhi gurautata. So that means because of our contamination, hard contamination, for many lifetimes, right? Not just this, many lifetimes. Yavattu papaistu malinam hridayam, shastre sadbuddhi nasyat. So we don't get interest or we don't get faith in Shastra, na sadbuddhi gurautata. So that means we don't get faith in Guru also. So if these two things are taken away, there is no spirituality. So we have to have this faith. Okay, it's very essential. So that is when we can go layer by layer. Okay. So
where is this shloka, Prabhuji? Yavattu papaistu hrudaya malinam.
Some Shastra Matayi.
No problem, Prabhuji. That's okay.
I will let you know, but yes, I keep hearing. So I'll let you know what is that. Next week I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. So anyone has any, actually I thought of completing chapter 1 today, but still 2 verses are left. Okay. 2 verses.
Can we do it?
We'll continue next week. No, it's already 9.
Okay.
It will get late.
Prabhuji, so churning of the nectar is going on very good. So I had this we in the 43 verse. So in the purport, Prabhuji,
we cannot hear, Prabhuji.
Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, we cannot hear.
Can you hear me now?
Now it's better little bit.
I can hear you. Yes.
Something is wrong. I mean,
But it's better, Prabhuji, than that.
Okay. So Hare Krishna. So text number 43 purport Prabhuji. Prabhupada Maharaj mentions like very good here. So just wanted a little clarification and elaboration in that. If you can put light on that. The last 2 lines, if you go in the purport, 43 verse purport, one who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschit. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to the hellish planet to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities. So it looks very simple, we can understand, but it is very guhyam. One who is always engaged in the sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschit. What is the meaning of that, Prabhuji? Suppose whole life I did the criminal things and did not follow the 4 regulative at all. Like Ajamila Katha, we know that very well. So Ajamila is the second chance, right? He got the second chance. Prabhupada Maharaj has written one book on life, second chance. The book name is itself. So everybody is not fortunate, right? So this atonement is there in the Christianity. They do all the sins throughout the week. Sunday they will go to the church and they will just deposit some money. And the father will say like, oh, it's okay, you can go again and do that. So that is elephant bath, right? So how to understand this one, Prabhuji, in our Vaishnava or kind of religious actual dharma related? What is the meaning of that atonement?
See, first thing, the whole problem with us is we don't realize that we are doing some mistake. We are doing an offense. We don't realize that. We always tend to defend ourselves. Whatever activities we do, we tend to defend ourselves based on some our parents gave some ritualistic knowledge. Okay, from young age, they have trained us in some way. So based on that, we come to a conclusion that whatever we are doing is correct, right? So that we have to take it off. First, whatever we do, are we in conjunction with the scriptures? Whatever activities we do, are we in conjunction with the scriptures? So if we come to this path, right, then we, as I said, we will get faith in Guru and Shastra. Okay, so when we get this kind of faith, whatever sinful activities we have done before, whatever sinful, it could be like millions of lifetimes we have committed the most sinful activities, like Jagai and Madai. They committed extremely sinful activities, right? Whatever you can think of in this world, they have committed to the peak. It is not that one day they committed and no, to the peak they committed Jagai and Madai. But as soon as they surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay, gone, done. All their sinful activities, the reaction of the sinful activities are done. Okay, so that Krishna assures, but only thing, we have to surrender to Krishna according to his wish, not according to what our wish, right? Simple example I tell you, if we have to cook for Krishna, then we always think about what will be good for me after offering, right? It is not that what Krishna likes I have to cook. No, after offering, it will come to me, will I like this food? Okay, so even there is no bhakti. Even though we are doing, there is no bhakti actually. A little bit better than karmi people, right? We are offering. So the real bhakti lies what Krishna likes, we have to feed him. So similarly, whatever activities if we don't do, like this example I gave you, Edeya Vidyaya Karoti, if we do activities with the knowledge and with Shraddha, which trust, with faith and meditation, with deep involvement, then that will be more effective. So once we get to this stage, whatever activity or whatever sinful actions we did previously, right, Krishna assures, you know that sloka, Krishna assures in 18th chapter, right? What does he say in 18th chapter?
1865 and 66.
What does he say?
Sarva dharmana parityajya mamekam saranam vraja.
Here, mamekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. He says that you would have done multiple lifetime sinful activities. Okay, I don't care about that. If aham tvam sarva papebhyo, okay, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja, me, not others, only if you surrender to me, aham tvam sarva papebhyo, not only remove all your sinful reactions, but next, what is the next line?
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami masucha.
He gives moksha. Moksha isyami masucha. Don't worry, moksha isyami. I'll take all your sinful reactions. I'll make sure it won't come to you. And on top of it, I'll give you moksha. So Krishna assures. So what is the problem in taking that? The prayaschitta for us is coming into the devotional path. That is the prayaschitta. If you come into devotional path, rest everything is assured. Even if you would have broken all 4 regulative principles before coming to Krishna consciousness, that is still okay. But don't do the same things now. Come into the devotional path, you are in prayaschitta mode. Krishna will give you moksha. Krishna will take you sarva papebhyo. He guarantees that. So you have to trust Krishna. You have to trust Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So that is what it is, Prabhu. But those who don't do that, then you will go to hellish planet if you do bad things. If you do good things, you have to go to heavenly planet. Heavenly planet or hellish planet, you have to come back to this earth. Why? Chine punya martya loka vishanti. You have to again fall down in this material world. Once your bag of karma is done, you have to fall down. So why you want to go through this?
Cycle.
Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, right?
Yeah.
So our prayaschitta is come to devotional life, come to Krishna consciousness, become devotee. So one person asked in Srila Prabhupada when he was giving lecture, one person will question Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, we have done so many sinful activities till now, so many. Okay, this is American asking when Srila Prabhupada was giving lecture. He says, I have done so many sinful activities that is there any hope for me if I come to Krishna consciousness, or how long will it take for me to become devotee? He says, Srila Prabhupada, he was expecting Srila Prabhupada will say so many years, because you have done 100 lifetimes of sinful activities and 100 years, 50 years sinful activities here. Now, he was expecting Srila Prabhupada would say it will take long. No, Srila Prabhupada says 1 minute.
Oh.
1 minute.
Yeah.
You know, if you surrender to Krishna 1 minute, all your papas will go.
Yeah.
That is Srila Prabhupada. So that is very effective. Krishna consciousness is very effective.
Right.
Okay, so that is our prayaschitta, Prabhu. If you come to
Right.
Krishna consciousness, done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Thank you,
for the
Prabhu.
example that you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Tell me, Mataji.
Mataji, I'm done. Thank you, Prabhuji, for putting the light and elaborating it clearly. So, yeah, it gives value, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, in the example that you were just saying, that we think what we like, we are preparing for Krishna. But it's not, how can we say that thought, Prabhuji? You want to prepare prasadam, so you thought something for the menu, and then you are preparing that, offering to Krishna. Now, like, let's say our kids, one day they ask, Mommy, I want to have dosa. Then I'll say, okay, I'll make in 2 days. And then we make dosa, and then we offer to Krishna. So, how is it realistic, Prabhuji, what you're saying? Our bhav is for Krishna only, right? What we say, even if kids say, Mommy, we want to eat, we'll say, first let's offer to Krishna, and then we will eat, we are saying. But the thought of thinking what we will make, what we like, I mean,
See, that is why we are all sadhakas, right? So for us, it is okay at this stage. For us, it is okay to do this. Okay, Krishna also tells this. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yogi. Right? So we are trying. So whatever we do with love, right? Even though ultimately it is us we are eating. Okay, of our taste only. If Krishna starts eating, then all your grocery will go.
Yeah.
Real eating.
Aniyor.
Yeah, so you have, like Govardhan, you have to keep feeding him. All your bag, Sona Masuri gone. One foot. So you can't. So at least Krishna says, what? You are at this level, you just, give me with love.
no.
That's all. If that is there, rest is taken care. So even if you do some, your selfish motive, that is fine. Krishna says in other sloka also, right? When we do sacrifice, right? Offering food is like a sacrifice to Krishna, right? So when we do sacrifice, in fire sacrifice or any sacrifice, we might do a lot of mistakes. But the bhava is there, love is there. So that is why we utter this mantra. Om apavitra pavitro va sarva vasta gato piva. So we say that whether it's pavitra, apavitra. Okay. So please forgive. Whatever consciousness we are in, please forgive. So if you tell that, Krishna will know. Krishna will understand.
So that feel, that bhava.
Yeah, that bhava, because Krishna is bhavagrahi. Krishna is bhavagrahi. He will understand you. Krishna knows your situation. Okay, Saujanya Mataji, you are at the situation where you are not this body. You are not at that stage. Okay, he knows that. But I'm trying. So Krishna knows I am putting my complete effort in doing that. So Krishna won't let you down. No. So Krishna will say, you do that much at least.
Even whatever we want to eat after we offer to Krishna.
Yes,
that bhav.
that much you do. So that we are safe. Okay, so if you practice all these things, again it falls into the Krishna's formula. Antakale cha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram. So at the end, if you think about Krishna, then he will forgive all the whatever bad activities you did, and you remember Krishna, you're done for life.
So he's also letting us know what's the problem. He's also telling us a
He knows
solution.
something.
He's also telling a shortcut remedy.
Yes. He is very, very wonderful. Actually, in 12th chapter, you have to see. 12th chapter will read, he explains, if you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do. He gives so many relaxations in 12th chapter, right? If you cannot completely surrender, don't surrender. You give all your activity, results of your activity. If you cannot give your results of your activity, think about me. If you cannot think about me, work with those people who think about me. So he gives so many relaxations. So Krishna is not hard at it. Krishna is very soft. He knows you. He knows you perfectly well because he is Paramatma, he is in you. So he understands the feeling of it. That's all. Kirtida has something to say.
I just remembered, like in this context, maybe it will add up to this conversation, I guess. Like when Sanatana Goswami, I think he wanted to prepare kheer for Krishna. He just was thinking, but he didn't have any ingredients.
Yes.
That time Radharani, she comes and she gives all the ingredients and she will go. So I was just remembering that story where, if you're just thinking, even if you don't have the ingredients, Krishna will make it happen just because we wanted to offer that to Krishna. So I was just thinking of that story, Prabhu. So I wanted to share that.
No, that is true. That is very true.
It's very nice, Mataji. That thinking, yes.
Prabhu, I wanted to share because I wanted to feed Krishna and Radharani. That was, I was imagining in a banana leaf. I should prepare all the things what Krishna likes. But, luckily somebody came and we offered something to them, but we always think, we have so many things. He's like a Vaishnava, he's like your father. You should sit and eat all big bhojana, big meal. And they should both sit down and eat and give you the pleasure. We are not going to see them, but at least the thought comes in, feeding somebody in that thing with a lot of varieties of food. But even though we may not have, I have realized sometimes in the winter time, I don't have a lot of things to offer. I offer only raisins or, the dates, or even, like a patram palam pushpam. Whatever I have, I just offer a little bit of that, sometimes we may run out of rice. So whatever we have, we try to offer that, I think, So he knows your heart.
Yeah, he knows your heart,
Yes.
At the same time, be very careful because if you have nice food items at home, rice, sambar, whatever, you make yourself and you eat. But for Krishna, anyways, we have to offer one flower or water. Just offer flower or water.
No.
We have Raj Bhog. That way, we should not be doing. When we have everything, we have to do best for Krishna.
Yes, okay. That's true.
We shouldn't take advantage of the shortcuts.
Yeah, advantage of this patram pushpam palantoyam slokam. You should not take advantage of it.
Yeah, only we don't have it. When we don't have things. Because
sometimes we do. In India, our parents, if you say naivedyam, it will be small, this small cup. Remember, small cup, one drop of water, one drop of rice, one drop of everything small.
That's all.
Krishna is not a baby or what? He can't even, he can eat it in his nose, that small.
But see, they were all not rich people in those days.
No,
okay,
they used to eat sumptuously. They used to eat sumptuously, but offering to Krishna will be like only this much. No, Krishna should be fed. Srila Prabhupada says Krishna should be fed like a 16-year-old boy who can eat so much. 16-year-old boy, we say that, right? Even if you eat stone, you will digest.
Yes.
Right? So that much. Krishna should be fed that like a 16-year-old boy.
Right.
How much you have to feed him?
Oh boy.
Always.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Prabhu.
Anyways. So if no one has anything, then
Prabhuji.
Shravanti Mata, yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in America, we store like we overcook and we keep in refrigerator, and then the next day we have so much of refrigerated food, and we'll offer. So
very practical, Prabhuji. Realistic.
Yeah, practical. That's what how to, because we are doing that, so that's why I just want to know.
We offer one item. Prabhuji, we make one a short, small item.
No, that is true. And Srila Prabhupada actually tells in somewhere, I don't know exact reference, but he says that you have to cook only which is sufficient for that particular day based on number of people. So because nobody is amateur here. Who is amateur in cooking here? Everybody is a great cook here, right? We have been cooking for years together. So based on our needs and number of people, you should cook in such a way that which is sufficient for only that particular day. And ideally speaking, you should cook only for that particular time, not even day. Okay, ideally speaking, that is again said in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it will come in chapter number 18. It will come in Yatayamam Gata Rasam, right? Yatayamam. That means food cooked more than 3 hours cannot be offered.
Yeah.
Food cooked more than 3 hours cannot be offered. That means morning you cook, then evening you cannot offer.
Yeah.
So similarly, every time we have to, that's why in temple they cook every time. So in house, I know it is not very stringent that much, but at least we try to cook only for that particular day. Don't keep it in fridge. In Varnashrama Dharma, there is no fridge. There is no fridge. There is no concept
No gas.
of fridge.
No gas.
No gas, no concept of fridge. So if we have to really follow that, actually it can be done, Prabhu. It is not impractical. We can't cook for that particular day. We can cook sufficient for that particular day.
Except for satsangs and
Satsangs.
weekends.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Now that we have to, that is why our satsang, we concentrate more on prasadam rather than so that is the whole problem. So philosophy should be main aspect, not prasadam. But anyways, so that's a different topic. So yeah, I hope you got it. You got my point, Prabhu. So try to cook for that particular day for number of people whom you can assess. So that there's nothing in the fridge.
They throw it out.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, even if we make for more people, at least for satsangs, if people don't show up, Krishna knows. He sees, he knows what's in our heart. What can we do?
Always, if you do, even for example, today you did more at your home, right? You make sure that you call a Vaishnava that day and feed him. Okay, or you distribute to neighbor. That is a prasadam. The neighbor will get mercy. So that means the prasadam won't be left over in your fridge. You do that. That is possibility, right? All these are practical things. We can do that. Right? Okay.
I think there is one more thing some of us do. I don't know if everyone does, but yeah, like at least I will do that. If there is some leftovers, I prefer eating myself or Prabhu, and then for kids at least I think that it has to be fresh. So I have to cook and offer to Krishna. So that way it is still going on. A little bit, I wouldn't cook for 4 people, but I would still cook for 2 kids, which is a small amount, enough to offer also. I mean, this is what I follow. This is not the best, but I'm just sharing.
If we don't have kids, what to do?
Anyways, this is a never-ending discussion because it is all case-to-case basis.
Yes.
Because, as I said, we are not neophyte in cooking. We are experts in cooking. So we can judge for that particular day, for those number of people, how much we can cook. We can easily judge that. Okay. Once in a while, if we miss that, that is still fine, excusable. But keeping in the refrigerator and eating, that is biologically also very unhealthy. Okay. And spiritually also, it doesn't yield you any effect. Okay. Ram Prabhu shared that sloka. Yatayamam gatarasam. Okay. So anything more than 3 hours, you cannot offer. Okay. So even
can I read the translation, Rosie?
You read, Mataji. You want to read?
Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness.
So
Hare Krishna.
Krishna explains that.
We are all,
Yeah.
we are all responsible.
Literally says yat yamam, food cooked 3 hours.
Yatayamam.
Yatayam.
Yatayamam. Gatarasam.
Yatayam.
Okay.
Gatarasam.
Yatayamam means like 3 hours. So 17th chapter, he explains clearly all the 3 modes. Good. So when we come there, we can talk more about it. Very interesting, actually. Very interesting because it's all practical. It is not philosophical. It's very practical what he says. Okay. Everybody can implement it. No doubt. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
very nice.
Yeah,
Thank you very
you
much.
learnt a lot.
So let's end here. Already 9:27. So I would like to offer my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like the desireless who can fulfill all desires and are of compassion to the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya krupasindhubhyayevasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishvanebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Sankirtana ki jai. Samaveta
Jai.
Vaishnava Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Purushottam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Lord Premanandi. Hari Hari.
Hari
Bol.
Hari.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.